SEC football.
Welcome.
Thank you. And guys, he was so nice. He's going to let me start it off because I'm a newcomer where it just means more. We're going to go through the SEC schedule and we're going to tell you who's going to play for the SEC title. So stay tuned.
Go Dogs.
Boomer. Alabama. Well, it's going to be an interesting year, I think, for Bama fans, not having Nick Saban at the helm. However, I think they've got a pretty generous schedule. I got them going 10-2 and 6-2 in the conference. Their 2 conference losses. Your Dogs, my Sooners.
Interesting take. It's a good take. I have them losing some more games, and it has nothing to do with me disliking them. I just don't know how they're going to be without Nick Saban. Kalen DeBoer is a great coach, but Nick Saban was the greatest coach ever.
Yeah.
Of all time. No questions about that. I have them going 8-4 with 4 losses in conference.
Wow.
I have them losing their first game, which also happens to be their first SEC game, at home to Georgia. Alabama has to go to Knoxville. I think Tennessee's going to have a pretty good team. I have Tennessee knocking off Alabama. I also have Alabama losing on the road to the Tigers of LSU.
Wow.
And I also have the Sooners beating the Crimson Tide here in Norman.
You know, I can see it. I can see that happening.
Those are tough road games, man.
They really are. Maybe I was giving Bama a little too much credit. I could see that. I really could.
They're going to be a great team, but can Kalen DeBoer win games in crunch time?
That'll be a good question because, you know, SEC, you're going to have a lot more crunch time games. So that's a really good point. Moving on to the disappointment, Arkansas. I've got them going 3-9.
Oh, no.
0-8 in conference.
You can't do Sam Pittman like that, man. Sam Pittman is a damn good dog. He really is. I love Sam Pittman so much. Whenever he left to go to Arkansas, and a lot of coaches have done this, Dan Lanning did it, and so did Fran Brown. When all of these guys left, they told these recruits, do not follow me. You committed to the University of Georgia. I want you to stay with them. At least get 1 year in. If you still feel like you want to come play for me, then hit the portal. Right. Georgia has had some outstanding coaches come out from under Coach Smart. Sam Pittman, it's going to be rough, but I think you're going to find a way. I got you going 6-6. You're going to go 2-6 in the conference, though. You're losing to Auburn, but you're going to beat A&M. You're going to lose to Tennessee. You're going to lose to LSU. Both of those are home games. You're going to lose to Ole Miss. That's a home game. You're going to be losing some home games. But hey, you're going to beat Louisiana Tech, but you're not beating Missouri.
Good takes. You're a little bit nicer than me. Now, Auburn. This was actually a tough one for me. I got them going 6-6 on the season, 2-6 in the SEC. They're going to beat Vanderbilt and Arkansas. Everything else on their schedule is going to be tough for them to find a way to win.
You know, I have them going 8-4, 4-4 in the conference. I don't like Auburn. I don't really think anybody really likes Auburn besides their fans, but I think that they're going to start out hot. I got them winning their first 4 games. That's not a shocker. They don't really play anybody. Then Oklahoma goes to Jordan-Hare.
Going to be a tough environment to play in.
I have OU escaping. I think it's going to be a close game. OU is going to escape with a win. Next week, or the week after that, Auburn has to go to Athens. That's another L. Then they have to go on the road to Missouri. They're going to have 3 losses in a row. But then I think that they are going to win the rest of their games right up until they play the Iron Bowl, and I have Alabama winning that game.
Interesting. I like it. You know, and again, Auburn, I can see being in the middle. I can see them at the bottom, but
they can even find their way at the top, man.
Yeah.
I have seen it happen.
Unfortunately. All right, how about them Gators? Not so fast, my friends. 4-8, 3-5 in the conference, and it's not because my buddy here is a Georgia fan. Billy Napier, I hope you like your last season in Gainesville because you're losing to both your rivals, Miami and Central Florida. Gonna get pounded by Georgia, destroyed by Texas, and you're gonna lose to Florida State. 0-3 won your 3 biggest in-state rivalries, and you're gone.
Dude, I thought I hated Florida. I got the Gators going 5-7. Not too much more there. Man, I don't want Billy Napier to get fired. I love when he coaches against Georgia.
Why? Because you win every year?
Yes, sir. No, dude. I have Florida knocking off Miami week 1. And I think it is because Billy Napier has a fire under him. Literally, he's on the hot seat. But I think that he is going to will his team to a win at home against Miami. I have the Gators winning their first 4 games. But then Gus Malzahn is going to travel to the swamp. UCF is going home with a win. Florida will then travel to Knoxville, where they will not win. Florida will host the Wildcats of Kentucky. Brock Vandegrift, he's going to light them up. Florida, 3rd loss in a row. Thank goodness for a bye week. Otherwise, it would be another loss. But then November 2nd, man.
UGA.
They're going to meet in Jacksonville. And obviously, I got my Dogs winning that big rivalry game. I think Florida will show up and play for the first half, but I think Georgia will run away with it. I think Trevor Etienne, I think he's going to go for 2 touchdowns, maybe 3. I think he might have 2 on the ground, 1 in the air. We'll see what happens. I just think that Georgia is going to run away with that game in the end. It's your 4th loss in a row, Florida. You have to travel to Texas because Texas doesn't have to play road games, apparently. If they do, nobody's going to be there. Shout out Vandy. So Florida, you're going to have 7 losses in a row. But thank goodness for the Seminoles. You're going to travel to Tallahassee. You're going to walk away with that dub. You're going to end the season on a high note, but you're not going to play in a bowl game.
Ouch. All right. Now your Dogs. And do you have something to show everybody?
Yeah, man. So y'all gotta check this out. He showed up with this super awesome printout that his coworker made for us. Obviously, mine's Georgia. His is OU. This is the sickest thing ever. And, you know, Georgia has won a couple of national championships in the last couple of years. 2021, 2022. It means a lot to me. We also have the 1980 trophy on here. We got a couple of Heisman winners. Shout out to Herschel Walker. If you have never met Herschel Walker in real life, you're missing out. I know he's hard to catch. He's a celebrity. I had the privilege of meeting this man, and he exemplifies what an incredible human being is. He is enshrined in the University of Georgia lore forever. He's a damn good dog, and he's an amazing human being. I have so much respect for Herschel.
And I know I've been starting, but because it's your team, start us off. Don't be shy.
Look, I really try to look at everything objectively. And you know me personally, so you understand. For those of you watching this from your phone, I take many things into considerations all the time. I try to look at everything very objectively, and I try to not play favorite. I try my best. I have Georgia going undefeated. I think that this team has a lot to prove. Obviously, they're my team, and I expect so much out of them. I think that they're going to go beat Alabama. They're going to travel to Tuscaloosa. I think that they're going to win. And then we have to travel to Austin. Kind of bummed about that, man. Georgia's first 2 conference games are night games on the road. That's just like some garbage scheduling. And then they're going to have to go play at Texas. There's not a time for that yet, but I feel like it's going to be another night game. I think they're going to try to make it really hard for Georgia, but I think Georgia will find a way to win because champions find ways to win.
And I'm the same way as you. I tried to find a loss. I've got them going undefeated, but for something, and I'm sure you think it, but I'm going to say it, they're the most complete team this year on both sides of the ball. We have teams that we've already talked about they're good on only one side. Georgia is good on both sides. Not only that, their young talent that they brought in, they're already getting high praise from guys on the roster.
Yeah, KJ Bolden being one of them. And we brought in a transfer from Miami. His name's Colby Young. For any of you Georgia fans out there that remember Lawrence Cager, might be before your time considering there's so many bandwagon fans now. Lawrence Cager, he was also a big physical receiver that transferred from Miami to Georgia. He was a very pivotal part of our offense in the Jake Fromm era. I'm expecting very big things from Colby Young. He is a 6'5" wide receiver, I think. He might even be 6'6".
It's a big boy.
If we're throwing fades, and I hate fades, that is fade height.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to score a lot of touchdowns.
Well, with Beck throwing to him, you know he's going to put it on the spot. I think Beck is going to be the Heisman Trophy winner. I have not told him that. This is the first time I've said it. I think Beck has a very good chance to lead this team to a national title, to win the SEC. I'm jumping the gun, but I really think this Georgia team, like you said, has a lot to prove, and Beck's going to be the reason why. I think he's going to put some more pressure on himself to play better, but it's only going to bring out the best in him, and definitely we'll see him in New York, but I would not be shocked if he's holding that Heisman at the end of the day.
I feel like it's going to be difficult for him to win anything outside of the national title. Georgia, historically, in every phase of the game, they are a nameless team. 2021, our defense consisted of Keely Ringo, Nakobe Dean, Trayvon Walker, Jordan Davis, Lewis Seen, The list goes on. I mean, we had 5 or 6 dudes drafted in the first round just on defense. That is a nameless team because they're all stars. And I feel like it'll be the same for the offense. I feel like we're going to have so many weapons. Beck is the commander of the offense, but he's going to have so many talented pieces at receiver, tight end. Watch out for Ben Urasek coming in from Stanford. They're saying he resembles Brock Bowers.
That's huge.
And then we have a loaded running back position. Beck may not have to throw the ball in half these games. So I feel like it's going to be hard for him to pad the stats per se to win a Heisman Trophy, but I don't think he cares about that. I think he cares about bringing home a national title with him leading the team. He doesn't care about those rings that he got from Stetson. He wants his own, and I think that he's going to do it.
I like it. Moving on, we got the Kentucky Wildcats. Got them going 8-4, 4-4 in the SEC. Got some favorable games here, but they also got the tough ones as well. So I also have them going into Gainesville and beating Florida. I've got them beating Auburn at home. Plus, I've got them winning their big rivalry game at the end against Louisville. So I got them going 8-4, 4-4 in the conference.
Yeah, that's the exact same thing that I have. I have them losing to Georgia, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Texas.
Yeah.
Same.
So moving on, we got not much there on that one. LSU got them going 7-5. They're going to start the season off with 5 wins in a row, and then it is going downhill fast. Got them going 3-5 in the conference. Their only conference wins are going to be against South Carolina, Arkansas, and Vanderbilt.
I don't know why. Kind of high on them. And whenever I think about it now and them not having Jaden Daniels, and they had a lot of dudes transfer out. I don't know how I feel about this. I got them going 10-2. Whew. They're going 6-2 in the conference.
Okay.
I have them being undefeated until they travel to College Station.
Wow.
And they're going to leave with a loss. And I don't think Texas A&M is going to be a good team, but I think that LSU will find a way to lose that game. Not only that, but Mike Elko is the new head coach at Texas A&M. I think this is where his legacy begins. And then I also have LSU losing at home in their final game of the season to the Oklahoma Sooners. I think that the Sooners are going to travel. I don't know if their fans are going to be able to travel to this game in this environment. I know that there is some discontent between OU fans and LSU fans. I don't know. I think that this game is going to end with Billy Bowman having an interception that seals the game.
I could totally see that.
It's going to be close. And I think LSU is going to be driving at the end. Billy Bowman secures the game.
Hey, I hope you're right. That's a great scenario. Ole Miss. I've got them going, can't believe I'm saying this, 11-1, 7-1 in the conference, and making the playoff. Their only loss at home against Georgia.
All right. I got the Rebels going 9-3. I have them going 5-3 in conference. I have them losing to LSU on the road. Baton Rouge, tough environment. I have them losing at home to OU. It's weird that I'm picking your team to win and you're not. But the reason that I have OU winning this game is because it is allegedly an 11 a.m. kickoff. OU has played so many 11 a.m. Central Time games. They know how to play. I think they're going to go. I think they're going to travel there. I think that it's going to be a close game. I think they're going to win.
You know, and I would love that. I really do. Something about that game scares me. I can't really put my finger on it. Plus, it may not look good if I pick them to go undefeated.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And then obviously I have Ole Miss losing to Georgia. If Georgia's going to go undefeated, they're going to have to beat Ole Miss.
Yeah. Mississippi State. Well, you tried. It's going to be a very, very tough first year for Lebby. I've got them going 5-7, but only 1-7 in the conference.
Same. Is that one win Arkansas?
That one win is Arkansas. And then winning their 4 non-con games.
Yeah, dude. They're going to beat Toledo.
I would sure hope so. Or he may not be there that long. Missouri. I hate the Tigers. I hate them. And just so you know, Missouri fans, when you were number 1 and had Chase Daniel, who won that Big 12 championship? Oh, yeah, we did. With that being said, Missouri is going 10-2, 6-2 in the SEC. Their losses are going to be back-to-back, but luckily they got a bye. They're going to lose to Bama, OU, Boomer.
Missouri Tigers. Got you going 10-2. 2 in the conference. He said it all for me. It's the exact same.
Oklahoma Sooners. Here we go. 11-1, 7-1 in the conference. Losing in Oxford and Ole Miss. But we will be in the playoff, and this is why we went to the SEC. We're going to lose one game. We're not going to play for a title in the SEC our first year because Ole Miss will have the tiebreaker in this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll be in the playoff, and we're going to host a first-round game, and we better pack the Palace.
Oh, man. I have OU going undefeated. Now, again, looking at everything very objectively here, there's going to be some very close games. I think that they're going to be undefeated when they travel to Dallas to play Texas. I think they're going to be undefeated.
Yeah.
I know that the Auburn game is big scary to everyone saying how terrible it is. Look, New Mexico State went in there and got a win.
Yeah.
Right. With that being said, though, it is different in the SEC. Auburn fans don't care about New Mexico State. They sure cared when Georgia came to town. That Auburn team played Georgia very well. Auburn is up. They're down. I think that the fans are going to pack the stadium against OU, but they're going to leave sad. I think it's going to be a close game. Now, the Sooners, they're going to travel to the Cotton Bowl, and Texas is going to have all the hype.
Yep.
Because they've had all the hype all offseason. They're going to beat Michigan. Michigan's the defending national champ. I wouldn't be surprised if Texas is like number 2 when they play.
I agree.
But that's not going to be the case when they leave. OU is going to walk away with a dub. I think that OU is going to win by 2 scores. We'll see what happens. South Carolina comes to town the next week. Sorry, Shane Beamer. I feel like that one's going to get real ugly real fast. They're going to play on the road at Oxford. I already gave my take. 11 a.m. It's going to be a close game. Billy Bowman is going to have a pick six. He called it. I think it's going to happen. That's no shade to Jackson Dart or Ole Miss. I'm very high on Billy Bowman. I think he is a stud. Very excited to watch him play. Missouri's going to pack the house, man. Faro Field, very hard to play. Missouri almost beat Georgia there a couple of years ago, right? OU is going to will their way to a victory in this game. It's going to be close. OU is going to have a lot of close games. So they are going to have to depend on their specialists, their kickers, their special teams, offense. It's really the offense. Jackson Arnold, for this scenario to unfold the way that I think it will, Jackson Arnold is going to end up in New York. His first season as the starting quarterback, he's going to turn a lot of heads. If all of this comes to fruition, they're going to go undefeated. That's my take. It's a pretty hot take. It has nothing to do with this. I just feel like Venables is going to will his team to find ways to win. I think Choklahoma is no more. They came to the SEC for a reason. Stand by. You're about to find out why.
Well, and BV's gone through those close games. So all those losses we had in the Big 12, it's going to prepare him for this moment. I think Jackson Arnold's going to hold those reins, take them tight, and he's going to run with it. What I'm hearing out of camp, that offensive line is not as bad as people are saying.
Dominic Williams is giving them praise. That's a bad dude.
Yeah. I think the pieces are there. I mean, really, if your question mark is a 5-star quarterback in his first season as a starter, remember, last year he had to start at BYU. Tough environment. He was not going to play. He had to burn his red shirt. We found a way to win. He made some tough throws that get you really excited. Yep. I know he didn't show, what a lot of people would say. He played bad against Arizona.
Yeah, but his receivers didn't help him. His offensive line didn't help him. He showed more positives than negatives because all the negatives, they have fixed those pieces. I think he is going to show out. I think he is going to be a Heisman finalist.
I would love it. I didn't expect that. And again, guys, we did not talk about this beforehand.
And I didn't do it for him, just for complete clarity. I think they have the pieces. I think they're going to win.
I love it. I hope it happens. South Carolina. Sorry, South Carolina. Sorry, Shane Beamer. 4-8, 1-7.
Ooh. I have the Gamecocks going 6-6, 2-6 in the conference. Yeah, I have them beating Texas A&M. I have them beating A&M.
I went back and forth. I went back and forth on that one.
And they're going to beat Clemson.
I do not have that. It won't even be close, unfortunately. I wish it would. It's not going to be close.
It's rivalry, baby.
Tennessee. All of you guys are pretty high on Tennessee. I've got them going 9-3. I think that's pretty respectable. 5-3 in the conference. I think they're going to be a good team. They're kind of in the same boat as OU, but opposite of what happened in the bowl games. They've got a redshirt freshman quarterback coming in. He's very, very talented, but he's going to find out very, very quickly that bowl game was a fluke.
Do you have them losing to Bama?
I do.
All right.
They lose the 3 big games. OU, Bama, Georgia.
Yeah, I have the Volunteers losing on the road in Norman, right down the road from us. And then obviously they're going to lose on the road to Georgia. The last time that they played in Sanford Stadium, they were the number 1 team in the country. It lasted for about 48 hours before they got smacked upside the head with a brick. Georgia, big in that game.
Texas, well, you go in to Red River Rivalry undefeated, but then you're going to lose 2 in a row. And then in the season, losing to the 12th men in College Station, 5-3 in the conference.
Yeah, we have the exact same thing laid out here. I want to point this out because I thought it was pretty interesting. Texas has to play OU and Georgia back-to-back. You know who else has to play those two teams back-to-back in that same order? Poor Auburn, dude.
Yeah.
Auburn and Texas, unfortunately, I think both of those teams are going to have back-to-back losses in the season. They're both going to be conference losses. I think OU and Georgia are just the better teams. And like I stated earlier, Texas is losing to OU. They're losing to Georgia, and they're going to lose to Texas A&M.
Last and certainly least, Vanderbilt. Won't win a conference game, but I was generous. I did give you 3 wins in your non-con, and that might be too many.
Yeah, I think that the over-under bet for Vandy is 2.
I give them 3.
It's 2. I gave them 3 as well. I have them beating Alcorn State, Georgia State, and Ball State. But look out for Georgia State, man. Look out for Georgia State.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Vanderbilt travels to Atlanta and loses that game.
Yeah, that's the one I'm curious about as well. I don't know if Vanderbilt's going to get the over, but I picked it here, sticking with it. But again, 0 conference wins and 8 losses. This is our SEC schedule, but now the part you've all been waiting for. SEC championship game. I've got the Dogs and the Rebels, and the reason Rebels beating OU in my scenario, Georgia winning the SEC, getting the bye in the playoff, and will be in the national title game.
I like it. I really do. Unfortunately, with your scenario, it is so hard to beat the same team twice. I really hope that Georgia can not have to play Lane Kiffin twice. I think he's a fantastic coach. I really do. I love Lane. I wish that he would be our OC. It's not going to happen. My SEC championship game prediction is it's going to be Georgia and OU. And I hate it, but I love it. These two teams have played one time ever in what a lot of people, including myself, consider to be the best college football game of all time. It is no doubt that it is the greatest Rose Bowl game of all time, especially for Dog fans. In this game, I think if this scenario unfolds the way that I want it to, and it comes down to Georgia and OU, I'm going to give the edge to my team. I think that Georgia is the better team when compared to OU. However, OU is going to be undefeated when they come into this game. This is going to be their first loss. With this loss, I think it's going to bump them down to the 5 seed. They're not going to get a bye, but they will host a college football playoff game in North.
This is our take. Let us know what yours are in the comments below. Like and subscribe.
Go Dogs.
Boomer.